Valley of the Kings is a narrow gorge lined by tall cliffs on Genowlan Mountain in Mugii Murum-Ban State Conservation Area. The valley has two short sections of canyon, but the highlight is the tree-fern filled section of gorge. It's a 2.5 to 3 hour drive from Sydney, going past Lithgow and continuing on towards Mugii. Turn off the Castlereagh Highway at Pattison and it's only a few minutes further. Genowlan Mountain and Mugii Murum-Ban have several interesting unique features in close proximity to each other, making this a worthwhile destination for a day trip, or you can even fill a whole weekend up on the plateau. Low clearance cars will want to park at the base of the hill. High clearance vehicles can drive up onto the plateau to save some walking. It's an exciting drive with a steep drop at the side of the narrow dirt road, some very sharp corners, large water bars for drainage and steep inclines. The grand finale up onto the plateau is driving through a canyon. There's a nice large pull-off here at the top of the grotto, up the steep fire trail to Genowlan Trig, then down the overgrown fire trail right to the top of Valley of the Kings. The track ends at the head of the valley with fine views. 50 yards or so down the valley, suddenly there's a drop. There are two down climbs here, a couple of trees and tree roots that you can use, and some ledges as well. Most visits to the valley bypass the short waterfalls and canyon sections, but for those with some technical experience, they do add to the interest. And then looking on, there's 10-15 metres of slot and a little down climb out. The Valley of the Kings was named by Dr. Hayden Washington in November 1984.
Look at my starry house.
And then the canyon opens up. Got a few hundred metres walk into the next slot. Get some pagodas and big massive fallen block. Slot starts just on the other side of there. Okay, into the second slot. This is the most challenging drop in the canyon. It's about 7 metres down. You can almost bridge it. I could almost bridge it last time. I'm going to use a rope here for tree. Looked like I could bridge it. Last time I got down below this chockstone and my foot couldn't reach the far wall, so Melissa had to drop a rope. I just needed to hold on to the rope to position myself into a good spot. And then the second obstacle in this section is a little drop into a pool, but you can actually crawl around the side there. There are some pockets on the right wall to help you get around the corner. Nice little chamber. And then we exit the slot with a down climb through here. Get a wet right hip for this down climb. Well done. So we're into a bit of a grotto, amphitheatre. Got maybe 100 metres to the final obstacle. Now there is a trick to the final obstacle. You come up early before a fern-filled crack, and you go along this ledge. This gets you to the far side of the drop where you can scramble down a slab, and there will be a fixed rope. And this is the Valley of the Kings with king-size cliffs maybe. Yeah, so the series of ledges brings you down to a fixed rope. I'm going to put 2 of my old off-cuts on here, and then we're going to remove this plastic thing, whatever the plastic thing is, I don't know. And then just hand over hand down here. Good sort of friction section where Mel is now. You don't really need the rope, but this is a beautiful valley with tall cliffs and tree ferns. Nice walking in the creek for 200 or 300 metres, but then it gets a bit scrubby, so you're better off contouring out to the ridge and then down the ridge to the road. Follow the fire trail down and up back to your car. On the way, it's worth having a look at the bottom of the grotto with its homemade iron railings and small canyon. Also the ultimate slot, a narrow, tall chasm, and if you have time, you can loop through the Valley of the Dinosaurs with its large tree ferns and prehistoric feel. Valley of the Kings is one of several interesting features on Genowlan Mountain in Mugii Murum-Ban State Conservation Area, making this a worthwhile trip for a day or for a weekend.